I'm glad you can
Good
hear me.
morning.
Good
Good
morning.
morning.
Peace and blessings,
Good
Good
everyone.
morning.
morning.
Good morning.
Awesome. I am fired up. Who's fired up this morning?
Hey, I am. Let's go.
Yeah, yeah,
Yay.
yeah. My name is
Woo-hoo.
Borbi Bropleh, y'all. I'm from Hiram, Georgia. It's right outside Atlanta. And I am super excited to be hosting this morning. Hey, type in the chat what city and state you come from. Let me see where everybody's coming from today. We have about 109 people on the call right now. Type in the chat what city and state you're coming from. Let's see what's going on here. Who's gonna win? All right, let me see here. Wow. Chicago, ATL, New Brunswick, Charleston, New Jersey, Jersey in the house. Wow, Peoria, Illinois. My brother went to school up there. Let me see. Concord, North Carolina, Detroit, Sacramento, Chicago. Man, Douglasville, Georgia. All right. San Diego. Where else? Where else? Raleigh, North Carolina, New York City, Vero Beach, Monroe, Louisiana, Glenside, Pennsylvania. Wow. Gulf Breeze, Florida, Georgetown, Texas. All right. All right. This call is well represented. Man, if I miss your city, I'm so sorry. There's just so many people on here today. Look, y'all, this is gonna be a great call. The guest speaker this morning is a very awesome guy. Can't wait to introduce him. But first, let me tell you a little bit about myself. All right, my name is Borbi Bropleh. Born and raised in Monrovia, Liberia. Monrovia, Liberia is a country. Liberia is a country in West Africa. It was founded by free men of color from the U.S. back in 1822. So the only country in Africa founded by pretty much Americans, right? And so happy to be here today. Been living in the States for a long time. Been in the industry since 2015. I come from a banking background. I was sitting down trying to climb the ladder in the banking industry, and it was just, it's just so difficult, challenging trying to get into securities and all that. And there were all these hoops. I bumped into a friend of mine and said, "Look, man, I know a place where you can get all your licenses and you don't have to jump through hoops." I was like, "What? I'm in." And that's how I got started in the industry. It's been a phenomenal ride. I stepped away from banking. Guess it's a funny story. So I'm sitting down with my manager. We're having a manager's meeting. And my manager said, this is what got me to transition. All right. My manager said, you know what? We have to start meeting on Tuesdays to start doing phone zone. I said, what? Phone zone? Is this guy in the insurance industry? He literally wanted us to start calling everybody, all of our customers on our contact list at the bank. This is a major bank. This is the second biggest bank in America. I say, you know what? If I'm gonna sit here and do phone zone, I may as well pay attention to my business where I can be somebody, Everybody type in the chat somebody. Who wants to be somebody? Type it in the chat, somebody. All right. Um, so I'm talking to a financial advisor at the bank one day. This guy had been with the company for probably 30 years. He owned his own practice and everything. And I asked him, I said, what's your annual income? And he said, about $500,000 a year. I said, what? 500,000 a year? I just talked to a 26-year-old kid who's making 700,000 a year. He's been in the industry for 3 years, and this guy is making 500,000 after 50. I'm like, no, I'm in the wrong business. So, guys, that's how I got started. I have my twin brother Bior on the call here. He's been in business with me from the get go. He's my partner. He's my wingman. I've been in the legacy team pretty much all my career. And Dan is the leader of the legacy now on here. He's a great guy. Dan, happy to be in business with you. We got Andre Genovese, who is also who is also here, one of my leaders. Look, guys, listen, I've recruited over 800. I look at the list of everybody that was on my team. It's over 800 people. So I say that to say that, um, look, no matter where you come from and no matter your background or whatever, uh, once you stick to this business, once you stick to this business, you will find success. Who's excited about ending the year strong and beginning the 2026 year strong? Type in the
That would
chat,
be me.
I'm excited. Who's excited about that, guys? This business is so amazing. I'm so grateful. I'm licensed in about 10 states right now. I've been licensed in about 31 states over time. As I get business, I get licensed. That's the beautiful thing here, guys. Once you pass your life and health license in your home state, you can pick up a license in any state, and most of them last for about 2 years. So that's pretty amazing. Anyway, guys, I'm gonna go ahead and jump up and I'm gonna introduce the guest speaker for today. This guy is Pao Thao. He's also started in the industry about 15 years ago. He lives in Fresno, California. Who's from Fresno, California here? I think I saw one or two people. All right. Um, so he was part-time for a long time. All right. But then something clicked in 2024 after hearing Jeff Levitan speak. It got him to go full time, and he hasn't looked back since. Right now, he's licensed. He's a co-founder. He's been in the industry. He's married to his beautiful wife Lee Vang, and they have a 2-year-old son. Hey guys, I'm not gonna say anything more. Pao Thao has a lot for us here. Without further ado, let's give it up for our guest speaker, Pao Thao.
All right, thank you, Borbi.
Thanks for coming on,
Guys,
Pao.
that was
Let's go,
powerful
Pao.
presentation by Borbi,
Way
you
to
know.
go, way to go.
I think I should just end my presentation with that. But let's give it a round of applause, a thumbs up, anything hard, everything. That was powerful, you know. The MC is always what starts everything, right? So that was powerful. Borbi, thank you again. So good morning, everybody. I'm excited. I'm happy to be here. You know, I love the Saturday training, and this is where I tell my team, this is where you learn from people out in the field. You know, people who are out there every day doing it. And I'm just glad that this week Dan gave me the chance to come here and train this, and got the chance to really share what I do out there with everybody here. So let me just go ahead and hop on my presentation. Let's see, start sharing here. All right, can you guys see my presentation? Thumbs up if you guys can see it. Let's go. All right. So again, like Borby said, I've been in this industry for a long time. I've been doing it part-time for a long time. Sometimes, we look forward to the kind of leaders that can really inspire us and, put something, or say something in us that makes us fired up. So Jeff was that person. Last year I went to an event. It was a life-changing event. That's what they say when you go to a big event, you make big decisions and big things change. So I went to a big event last year, and I realized that, man, he's a real deal, right? So this is the GOAT. This is the guy that I need to get in my Vantage full time with him. So I decided to come in full time and never look back. So today I'm going to talk to you guys about having a builder's mindset, right? Going out there and building your business. Because if you ask me about product, I probably not an expert in product. I know the basics. I know enough to go out there and help families and do what I need to do to make money. But my focus is really on recruiting and building and following the system. So I'm going to share with you guys about what I've been doing out there and what I've been doing in the last 15 years too. So let's see if I can make this bigger. Okay, so again, my name's Pao Thao. I've been with John Bennon for about 5 years now. but the business didn't explode until last year. So I'm very happy that everybody's coming on board, that we are taking Vantage to the top. So let me start out with a quote here. A quote that says that if you want 1 year of prosperity, grow grain. If you want 10 years of prosperity, grow trees. If you want 100 years of prosperity, grow people. This is a powerful Chinese proverb. And if you understand this, right, because that's exactly what we are doing here at Vantage, right? We are training people, we are coaching people, we are teaching people, we building to become leaders. We are building a business of people. That's what we're doing here. So, I didn't know this until I saw this quote. I said, man, this is powerful, because that's exactly what we've been doing here at Vantage, but just didn't realize that we are building something that's gonna last forever. Because you're here to build a legacy, right? For you and your family. You're here to build generational wealth. And that's what we're doing here. We're building a business that lasts forever. We're not here to build a business that lasts 1 year or 10 years, right? So that's why my focus is on people. Now, this is what one of my favorite quotes that I always tell on my team. Big dreams require big teams, and big teams only come from running the system, right? If you're not running the system and you're not focusing on building a big team, then what are you building? A small team, or you focus on or personal? Look, I've been doing personal and many years ago in the past too. And I don't like it, because every year it resets and starts all over again, and I have to go out there, and every day if I don't make a sales, I don't eat. So every single day I have to hustle. But then I start to realize that what, back to what that quote says, if you want 100 years, or you want something to last forever, you got to build people. So that means that you have to focus on people. So for me, look, I'm telling you guys, man, we have probably one of the best opportunities out there right now, best comp plan, and you're not focusing on building a team, or shifting that mindset to build a big team, then you are missing out, right? Okay. Okay, see, even our vision, right? Our company vision says helping people to achieve the life of their dreams. So every day, your job should be out there focusing, who should I be helping to achieve the life of their dream, right? Who should I be coaching? Who should I be guiding or giving information, directing them to the right place? You have your leaders, your team members. You have people out there who's not in the business yet, who are looking for this kind of opportunities. You have people out there who need the products and services we have here. So this is powerful. We already have the vision here. All you gotta do out there is just deliver the job. Just do your job, guys. Right now, to have a big dreams, a person needs a few simple but powerful things, right? These are some of the things that I share with my teams, and this is some of the things I even share for my like do for myself. That want, look, you got to have a vision, right? If you don't have a vision of where you want to go, then of course Vantage have that vision for you, right? Because now if your leader has vision, let's follow that vision. That's why we're following Jeff, we're following John, and now we got the president Jeff coming in. We got two Jeff now, right? Two powerful visionary, right? So you gotta have vision of where you're going. You gotta have belief, right? And anything you do, I always tell people that, look, if you don't believe it, no matter how good you are, you're not gonna be successful. You gotta believe in yourself. You gotta believe in the product. You gotta believe in the system. You gotta believe in this company, right? Believe in the leadership, because we have the right leadership. We have the right system in place. Everything is right. Timing is right. You got to believe that you can do this business here. And, you got to have courage, right? You got to be brave. You got to go outside the box. That's why our business presentation is business outside the box. You gotta think outside. You can't be afraid. How can you be afraid when you have all the tools? We have all the right leaders, all the great people that's supporting you. Man, I always use the soccer experience, right? That, man, when I used to play soccer, if I have all the right leaders, all the right players, all the right coaches, there's no team I would be afraid of. I'll go out there and fight for it, right? So you gotta have that courage, and go out there and fight for your dream. If you don't fight for your dream, who's gonna fight for your dream? You don't fight for your family, who's gonna do it? So you have to be out there and be that person for it. You gotta have purpose, right? Everything we do, we need to have purpose. You got to have that strong why, because if you don't have a strong why, it's, I tell you, man, this and anything we do in life, not just this business, you're always going to run into roadblocks, bumps, and negative people and people who's going to put you down. That strong why is what's going, and that purpose is what's going to keep you going, and it's going to keep you strong every single day. So you need a strong why. You need leaders around you. Surround yourself with positive leaders who cares about you. And of course, you gotta be disciplined, man. You can have a big dream. A dream is just a dream without action, right? So you gotta discipline yourself and daily go out there. Be consistent. Whether it's just doing one phone call, two phone call, 10 phone call, whatever you can do. But if you're consistent of doing that every single day, something's gonna happen, right? There's this magic about, like, just being consistent. Like, it's something just gonna happen if you just keep doing it. So it's something that we can't explain, but if you keep doing it, it's magic's gonna happen. It's gonna work. So be disciplined, all right? And the most important thing is be coachable, guys. You got to be coachable to yourself, coachable to your upline, to your leaders, and be a good student. That if you're running a system, and if you have a leader or someone's teaching you, you got to be coachable. You got to be a good student, man. If you're not a good student and you're not a good follower, you're not going to be a great leader too. So be coachable. That's how powerful this business is. Like, when I came to this industry, I wasn't coachable. I wasn't a good student, right? And I realized that, my way didn't work. I realized that, hey, I'm thinking I'm good, right? Because, I think that I've been doing things in life that it works, and I can bring here. And hey, you know what? I'm going to do my way. I'm not going to follow the system. I'm not going to follow my coach. And I learned the hard way. So you got to be coachable and be a good student, all right? Now, of course, the system, the V format system, right? The 6-step. This is what saved me and this business here. Without this system here, I won't be here today, because I was doing my own way and it didn't work, So by following the system's gonna, like, look, like, if you submit yourself to the system's going to save you. So ask yourself, are you a system-made leader, or are you a leader, you're doing your own way? Because if you look at it, I believe our multi-million dollar chairman, Jed Lefton, is a system-made guy. He runs the system and make millions, and built 40 plus millionaires, teaching them the system. So look, the system is so powerful, man. It's proven, it's profitable if you just run it. And if you look at the bottom here, right, it's only 6 steps. And it says the 6 steps to building your Vantage business. The rapid and systematic repetition of these simple steps will help you build a large, successful nationwide organization. Look, guys, if you wanna be small, then don't follow this system. But if you want to be big, you want to be a giant in this industry, you have to follow the system. You need this system, because the system has been proven for 40 plus years, right? So, of course, our system has 6 steps and 10 steps launch. That's very simple, right? Within the launch steps, after you do the 4 steps and you get to the launch step, you recruit your new potential superstar, right? Then you take them through the 10 steps here, the launch step, and it's all here. Like, somebody can come in here with no experience and live in a state with no leaders. That person can just follow this system and make money. That's how simple it is, guys. So look, follow the system, man. Because if you ask me about the business, I'm just gonna tell you about the system. Because you ask me about the product, man, we got so many great products. We have so many great companies that we're partnered up. I can't keep up with it, but we have 6 steps and 10 speed filters for us to follow, and that's easier for me. So now look, we have the proven system in place. And it's very profitable. We have the best compensation plan out there. We have great leaders in place. But to make it work, you got to have a recruiter's mentality, right? So what is a recruiter's mentality? It's just like, every day, are you out there prospecting? Are you prospecting people? Are you sharing this opportunity with people out there? Are you, and then are you engaging? Are you contacting your people? Of course, I don't know why all that's right there. Sorry for all that. This was from my old presentation I was doing, so I didn't delete the bottom part. So ignore the bottom part, the innovation, the energy part. That was from my the old stuff that I've been doing. So but guys, just focus on the top part where it says engage, contact, and overview presentation. Every day, if you're doing that, you are recruiting, right? You have that recruiting mentality because you're every day you're prepping, you're prospecting, you're engaging, you're contacting people, and then you're presenting to people out there. That's recruiting mentality, right? You got to do that every single day. Of course, the next step is that build this mindset, right? If you're doing all that and you're bringing somebody new in, are you fast starting those new people, right? Are you taking them through the launch, the 10 step? That's powerful. If you're not doing that, the new recruits, it's not gonna survive, So you gotta take them through the 10-step launch. You gotta fast start them, and make sure you replicate, and duplicate the business to that person, and then of course run your MD factory, right? This is all about builder's mindset. You taking somebody who is a nobody to becoming a somebody, from zero to a hero, right? Someone who makes zero income in this industry to hitting their ring, making $100,000 in this industry. So if you are that leader, then you are focusing on recruiting's mentality and builder's mindset, right? Because it's important that we focus on that, because if we're not focused on that, then it's very hard to build our business here, right? Now, of course, to build anything great, you have to shift your mindset. The mindset is powerful. It starts with you. I always tell everybody that, look, if you have a job and you're coming to our industry, you got to change that mindset. You're no longer an 8 to 5 person. You don't have a boss anymore. You are the boss. Every single day, you got to create your schedule for yourself. You got to shift from that job mindset to the business mindset, the entrepreneur mindset, right? And then now, once you get into the business, a lot of you guys out there are leaders. You've been doing this for 10 plus years, and you already know all this. But for the new people, you gotta shift that mindset, right? And of course, if you focus on product every day, you gotta have that mindset shift. We are in the financial services business, but what we do with every day is we're helping people. So that also makes us in the people business. So now, I used to be just a personal producer, and it was very hard for me to shift that mindset too, because I didn't understand, okay, I'm in the financial service business, but shifting it to become a people business mindset. Well, once you understand that and you shift that mindset, that's when you start to have that recruiter's mentality. That's when you start to have that builder's mindset. That's when you're starting to build people to become leader. Because in this business, we all know you build leaders, team will come, right? So keep producing leaders, right? And that's the goal of this business. Keep producing MDs too, right? Because you have your own MD factories that you're running, and that's powerful right here. Now, a lot of you guys already know all this stuff, and this could be a reminder, or this could be something new to somebody that are just starting this industry. But let me tell you guys, man, focus on the system, build people, build leaders. This is the reason why we're here, because we want to help people achieve the life of their dream. So this morning, I want to thank you to Dan and Bobby for for this opportunity. So this is all I have for you guys today. I want to keep it short and simple and clear, because the more I talk, I'm probably going to confuse you guys too. So and I'm going to end my presentation there. And I'm going to go ahead and introduce our next presenter, our next trainer, right? And our next presenter, our next trainer is the reason why we have this Saturday training, right? He's the guy who found this. He's the guy who started this, right? He is a great leader. He is a great husband. He's a great business partner. He's been doing this over 10 plus years. He's very successful at his practice company. And for a short period of time, within 1 year, coming into this business here, man, he's been so successful, right? He went from coming to this business to becoming co-founder to becoming a co-owner. Man, I can't say enough about this guy, man. He's so great. You know, I'm so happy to be in business with him. I'm so happy to be partnering with him. Let's welcome our man, Dan, the man. Dan, it's all you now.
Thank you, Pao. That was awesome. Great job. Give a hand to Pao for this awesome training that he did today. You know that this business, you can make of it what you want to make of it, but you got to ask yourself the question. I see April shaking her head. Do you want to be in sales or do you want to build a business here? Right? Sales are great, and you could make a living doing sales. But building a business, you can create a legacy. So you could make it, I want you to write this down. You can make a living making sales, but you can create a legacy building a business. So that's what I'm here to do. I didn't come here to make a couple sales. I came here to build a legacy, to take care of everybody in my life and leave something for my kids and my grandkids and my great grandkids and all the way down the line. So that was a great training on system. And I left products out of today. Why? Because the products are easy to learn. The system is where the rubber meets the road. So I want to teach you guys today. There's this thing in our business called trust versus credibility, right? A lot of people get into this business, Pao, and you've been in this a long time. A lot of people come from different industries that don't have anything to do with the financial services industry. So when they get really excited when they first start talking about this business and they start verbally vomiting on people, I guess that's the term, about their new business and how they're going to make millions of dollars and you should come join my team and this and that and the other thing, and then people get freaked out. So rather than wait to let an expert explain it to them, they jump the gun, right? And maybe you learn your lesson and maybe you don't, but I'm going to show you how to really do this to make this most effective. And this is how you build a business here. So let's get into it. There's trust versus credibility. So I grew up in a tiny town in the Midwest called Chicago, Illinois. I don't know if you guys have ever been there before. Moved to California when I was in high school, and then spent a few decades out there. Now I'm in Atlanta. But I grew up watching the greatest player in my mind ever. His name is Michael Jordan, right? Michael Jordan, the greatest basketball player of all time. Michael Jordan was a really good scorer. He was the best scorer in the NBA. He led the league in scoring year after year after year after year after year. But guess what he didn't do? He didn't win any championships while he was the number one scorer in the NBA. Guess what? He was stuck in sales, right? Scoring in the NBA is you're stuck in scales. So basically what you have to do is shift your mindset from scoring to running a system. So there's a guy named Phil Jackson that replaced Doug Collins as the coach. And Phil had this thing, he had a coach on his team called Tex Winter. And Tex implemented this thing called the triangle offense. Right? Anybody ever heard of this thing, the triangle offense? Any basketball fans in here? That's what it was called. And when he implemented this triangle offense, guess what happened? The Bulls started winning, right? They started getting deeper into the playoffs, and eventually they beat the Pistons, and then they beat the Lakers, and they won their first championship in 1991. Yes, I'm a Bulls fan. I'm a basketball historian, right? Pre-2000, right? Pre-year 2000. But what did Phil do? He implemented a system in place to the greatest team, I believe, ever. But it would have never happened if he didn't implement that system and the players didn't sell out to the system. So a lot of you can be stuck in sales. You can be great scorers in this business, but don't you want to win some championships at the end of the day? So we're going to talk about trust and credibility. Let's get into this. So this is our triangle offense, okay? So my lovely friend April is right here. She's awesome, by the way. She's right in front of my screen, so I'm going to probably pick on her a little bit, and we're going to run some stuff. So I'm going to give you an example. Let's say I'm the prospect, right? Or I'm the trust, right? Borbi is in front of me as well. He's the prospect, he's my friend, and April is the credibility. She's my trainer. Okay. This is how you run our triangle offense. So when you come in, it's you go through all this stuff. You get a list together, you develop a list, you talk to your trainer, you practice making phone calls, you make a phone call, you set an appointment. You tell them to lock it down. Hey, make sure you show up for this appointment. And now what? So I get Borby to do an appointment for me. He's my best friend, and now I'm going to introduce him to my trainer because guess what? Borby only knows me as my previous career, so he's not going to listen to me about money, right? So I have to bring somebody in here that's an expert, and that's how deals get done. So when I bring April, I'm the trust. She borrows my trust and she's the credibility. So she becomes both at the same time. Does that make sense? When you try to do it all on your own, that's where you get into trouble. You ever go to a restaurant? What if you went to a restaurant and you go up to the hostess and they seat you? And then after they seat you, they go, "What can I get you to drink?" And then after they take the drink order, they go back and make the drinks at the bar. And then they come back and then they take the food order. And then they go back and cook the food. What if you saw somebody doing everything? Does that work at all? No. So you have to leverage other people in this business. So April's the credibility. I'm the trust. Borby's my prospect. Okay. The key to getting over the hump on this is how you introduce your trainer. So when we meet with Borby, I'm just gonna go. I'm gonna make some small talk because he's my best friend. Hey, buddy, how you doing? Great to see you. How's everything going? How's the wife? How are the kids? All that stuff. But if I'm the trust and I'm the trainee, I never thank my friend for being there. Never, ever, 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 ever thank your friend for being there because it takes all the leverage away from your trainer. I'm acting like we're doing Borby a favor by sharing this information with him. Do you see the psychology of this? You never thank the person that's doing the appointment for you, ever. All I'm going to do is thank April. April. We're going to go back and forth, Borby and I. Hey, Borby, before we get started, I just want to introduce you to my mentor and good friend, April Taylor. Just to give you some background about April, April's the main reason why I'm doing this business. When I sat down with her at first, she showed me a vision of what my life could be like, right? Not only is she helping me build a business, but she completely fixed my financial situation. When I sat down with her, I had a lot of student loan debt. I had credit card debt. I didn't have anything set up long term. I didn't have an emergency fund. None of this stuff. I had no clue what I was doing. I was winging it when it came to my finances. And she gave me a systematic plan how to actually become financially independent one day. I love what she did so much. I wanted to learn how to do what she did. So I'm starting to work on my license right now. I'm getting certified, and not only is she great at business, but she's a great mom. She's a great wife. She's a woman of faith. I completely trust her. I trust her with my finances. I trust her with my future and my livelihood with my business. So Borby, I'm going to hand it over to April because she's more of an expert on this. I'm just getting started. She's more of an expert than I am. But listen to what she has to say, because if you listen to what she has to say, she might be able to help you out as well. Does that sound good? Right? Now, let me talk to you guys about what I just did right there. 90% of the success on your first appointment when you're sitting down with somebody is how you introduce that person. If you go, "Hey, Borby, this is my friend April. She's coaching me in business. April, go ahead." What does that do? But aren't you kind of back in your seat? You're like, "Dang, this girl's a big deal. This lady is a big deal." You got to make sure that your trainer is a big deal and you're lucky to have her there. Does that make sense? When you do that, it's all psychological, right? If you thank the other person, if you thank your friend, then they have the advantage. If you thank April, if you thank your trainer, then they have the advantage. Then they're sitting up straight, then they're paying attention, then they're like, "Dang, I hope this lady can help me too." And that's the end of the day. So that's our triangle offense. So I'm going to talk to you about how important this is to building leaders, because we want to create what? An MD factory here. The more MDs you have, I figured out the math. Every MD I have on my team is worth $5,000 in my pocket. So how many MDs do you want to have on your team? $5,000 residual every month in your pocket. Isn't it fun? How'd you like to have one person that just paid you $5,000 because you trained them what to do? How'd you like to have 10? How'd you like to have 100? How'd you like to have 1,000, right? That's my vision right now, 1,000 MDs on our team, right? So we're going to talk about business ownership mentality real quick, all right? So there's the trust and the credibility. When I sit down with people, when I'm fast starting them and onboarding them, I'll use a restaurant example, right? So if I'm talking to April, and let's say she's my trainee, I would say, April, you're just getting started in this business, right? Imagine you were opening a restaurant. How many people would you invite to your soft or grand opening at your restaurant? Everybody you know, right? You'd get a list together. You go, oh, I know this person from church. This is my cousin. This is my best friend. This is my neighbor. All this. You'd write a list of people for your grand opening. Because why? You want them to try the food. You want them to see how the service is, right? They were, how's the drink menu, all this other stuff. So you're having your grand opening when you're doing that, right? When you're doing these one-on-ones and trust and credibility and you're having these grand openings, that's what you want to do. You want to invite everybody you know. He or she who shows this to as many people as fast as possible is going to win the game at the end of the day. So I always use this thing called the baseball example. So when I sit down with somebody in their market, I don't go out guns a-blazing. I don't want them to feel like I'm trying to recruit them. I don't want to try to make them feel like I'm trying to sell them anything. When I take April out in the field, all I'm trying to do is hit a single. I just want her best friend, Jackie, to get excited about what she's doing. I want Jackie to go, April, that sounds great. That's it. That's my whole end game for this deal. Just get her excited about what she's doing. Get her wheels turning, right? A double would be getting some referrals. Jackie would be like, oh man, this sounds great. April, hey, guess what? My friend just had a baby. She wants to start a college fund for her kid. Oh, okay, cool. Let me get her name and her number. Oh, yeah. And my other friend was talking about getting insurance. Oh, and my other friend was talking about, so you want to get their wheels turning so they can start giving you referrals, right? Trip would be, hey, look, I'm excited for you. I'm definitely going to give you some referrals, but you think I can get one of those free financial plans too? You think you guys can help me out? Sure. And then a home run would always be all the above, and they become a new teammate. Because guess what a new teammate is? It's a new potential outlet for you to build your organization. All right. And I don't call a teammate until they get a license. If you recruit somebody and they get a code number, that means nothing. Until they get licensed and they make their first paycheck, they're really not on the team, right? They're a probationary person. So if you're on this call and you're not licensed yet, and you just have a code number, maybe you're studying, right? Well, you need to get your license and you need to get your first paycheck out of the way and you need to make your first $1,000. That's what I call a real license. That's called a net license. Once you get in here, you get a license, you make your first $1,000, right? Now you're called a net license. He or she who has the most net licenses will win the game as well. How many new people can you bring on board that make $1,000 from scratch, right? That's the deal. Right now, our team this year has 77 new net licenses this year. That's not bad, right? But I'm like, how do we get it to 770? How do we put a zero behind that? How do we put 2 zeros behind that? Because that's how you run the system here. Does that all make sense for everybody? So you got the trust and credibility, you got the restaurant example, you got the baseball example, and you got to get out of the way of your warm market. So we're going to talk about the next step. So this is how you run our marketing system. What's the point of can anybody tell me what the point of your warm market is? Right? Anybody know what the point of your warm market is? It's to get out of your warm market as fast as possible. You're supposed to go from your known market to your unknown market, right? A lot of people get fancy. They're like, oh, I'm going to run Instagram campaigns or I'm going to do LinkedIn campaigns. I'm going to go try to recruit in a cold market. Does that work? Sort of, right? But isn't it a lot easier? Wouldn't you rather get a referral from your best friend than going to try to find some stranger? Right? And then have to build a relationship over weeks, months, years for people sometimes from scratch, right? But if my best friend, if Pao Thao, right, refers me somebody, there's trust there. So this is it. So here's you. When I bring April on, my goal is to get April 10 appointments as fast as possible. Okay. If you're brand new and you haven't done 10 appointments, if you're on this call and you have not yet done 10 appointments in the field with one of your trainers, that's what your next goal is to do, besides getting your license and all that stuff. Because if I take April out in 10 appointments, I'm going to get her probably 3 directs at least. 3 people that are going to send referrals or whatever. And out of those 3 people, one is going to be very ambitious. Okay. So I go out, take her in the field 10 times. I'm going to recruit 3 people for her. And one of those people is going to be Jackie Ashford Ball, who's a superstar. Okay. Uh, one of those 3 people is going to be able to be what I call tap rooted. So you see this? I got her 3. There's number 3 right there. That's Jackie. Guess what? I can taproot her. I get her a recruit. When I recruit April, my mentality is who can I meet through her? So then I go meet Jackie. And what's my mentality with Jackie? Who can I meet through her? And I recruit that person for that person. And I go, who could I meet through them? If you build a leg 4 deep, okay, you will find an MD in that leg. Somebody there, it might be Jackie, it might be her friend, might be her friend's friend, might be her friend's friend's friend, right? I don't know if it's at the top of the leg, in the middle, or at the bottom of the leg. The deeper you go, the more MDs you're going to find in that leg. Does that make sense for everybody? So what's the key to this business? MD, MD, MD. If you're not an MD, it's not that hard. If you can go make 4 or 5 sales a month, even if it's personal or 4 or 5 sales on your team every month, then you're an MD. That's about it. But that's the key to this thing. It's the setup, it's the getting them in the field, it's when you're in the field, the proper edification, it's the trainer doing their job, showing, presenting the information. It's getting out there 10 times, getting those 3 people, finding that 1 out of 3, getting them 4 deep at least, and then finding MDs through there. Leaders aren't developed, they're found. Would you not agree? Anybody who's been in this business a while? If I recruit April Taylor on my team, do I really got to motivate April? No, she's already motivated. But if you never find them, then it's trouble. So how do you find them? You go in the field, you recruit, right? If if there was no such thing as recruiting, nobody would be on this call right now. Would anybody be on this call if there was no such thing? If you didn't have a code number, Eric, right? Elizabeth, right? Milton, if you didn't have a code number, you wouldn't even be on this call. So somebody recruited you. So don't think as for recruiting as taboo, right? So that's the key. Do you understand? This is how the system works. Powell's a system guy and he's following along. But I want these 3 people right here. This is limited, right? If I know Jackie, these ones right here, this is a very limited market. This is your unknown market. The key for your known market is to getting the people you don't know, because the biggest players on your team ever are going to come from your unknown market. I'm telling you, now that I have some ownership in this deal, basically, all you guys are on my team. In some way, shape, or form. You guys are all, we're all working for each other. But do you think if April recruits somebody today, do you think I knew her? Do you think I knew April before this business? You think I knew Borbi when I started this business? No. Do you think I knew Pao Thao before I started this business? No. So all your best players are going to come from people that you don't know at the end of the day. By following the system in the known market, you unlock an unlimited unknown market. And that's where you're going to find your best agents and your best clients at the end of the day. If you only made a living, right? If you only made a living selling to people, if you own a restaurant and you only made a living selling to people that you knew, people come in that you knew eating breakfast, lunch, and dinner at your place, they're going to get sick of your place eventually, aren't they? They're going to go, you know what, I love Dan, but you know what, I'm gonna go to Chili's instead, right? Or whatever, right? But that's the deal. You have you have to find new people. You have to out recruit your attrition because people are going to quit, aren't they? April. People are going to quit, Andrea Taylor, right? Right? Diane, people are going to quit on you, right? So if you recruit 10 people and then all of a sudden you stop recruiting, all of a sudden you're going to wake up and five are on the call, and then four, and then three, and then two, and then one. And then you're like, hey, I'm here by myself because you stopped recruiting. And your one person doesn't show up. And you're like, you're pissed. And you're surprised. And you're like, wait, you didn't throw any new numbers to the system, right? Think of it like a bathtub, right? You ever pull the plug on a bathtub? What happens if you don't start adding water to the bathtub? If the water doesn't gush out faster than it's draining, what happens to the bathtub? It's completely drained. So if you're not adding recruits, you're not adding water to the tub. The drain is just going, and all of a sudden you got no water in that. You have to create a system where there's way more water going into the tub than that's going down the drain. And if you can do that, it's going to overflow. And all of a sudden, you're going to have this big team you walk up to. So, part of the point of this business, and I'll use this analogy and then we'll get into some recognition. Think of this business as a pond, right? You guys ever see a pond, right? Pond anywhere, little body of water. If there's not a stream of water coming in, and a stream of water going out, what happens to that pond? It turns into what we call a swamp. If there's just a stream going in, right? That's recruits. Your stream of water going into the pond is recruits. But if there's not a stream of water going out, it becomes stagnant. What's the stream going out? It's net licenses. So recruits coming in and people going out are net licenses, right? If you got that water going there, it's going to become stagnant. It's going to become a swamp. So you have to run the system the right way. And how do you do it? It all comes down to leadership, right? If you get a recruit, that's just the beginning of the game. It's just the beginning of the game. Now you got to be a leader. You can't just throw things against the wall and expect them to stick. Now you got to go, okay, cool. Let's get you register for your study material. Let's set a test date for you. Let's develop a list together. Let's practice making calls. Let's make some appointments for you. Let's go onto the field while you're studying for your license, all this different stuff. If you're not willing to do that, you're never going to have a huge sustaining business. And what will happen is you're going to be hunting for sales for the rest of your career. And yeah, you'll probably make a sale here and there, but you'll make one every other month or one every 3 months or something like that. And then you'll be calling the home office, hey, where's my commission on that one sale I threw in the last 6 months because it's a week late. I should have got paid on it. I never look at that stuff. Hey, I'm never waiting on my commission because I'm running a system. It's going to hit eventually. You understand? But it's the people that have that scarcity mentality that are calling, complaining about to the home office about where's my money at because they're not running a system, they're not recruiting. It's that one sale they made every once in a while, and they're depending on that money, right? But if you're running a system, it doesn't even matter. Like I look at my commission cycle. Oh, there's that one. Okay, cool. I thought I was going to get paid last week on it, but no worries. It's okay. It came a week late, right? Don't you want to have a business like that rather than waiting on everything else? So with that being said, folks, I hope you got some value out of that. Borby did a great job. Borby did a great job hosting today, and he's going to do recognition here in a second. Pao, you completely crushed it. I'm going to pull up some recognition for everybody, but I'm going to introduce my brother, Mr. Borbi Bropleh. I've known him for quite a while in the business. He's just an awesome man. He's an awesome man of faith. He's a heck of a hard worker. He's a great husband. You know, he's a great father. But you watch out. I'm putting you all on notice because he's got such a crazy good team brewing here locally, and now he's spreading out. He just got started. He just clicked the button. He's been around for a little while, but he just clicked the button about a month ago from his previous company. And he just got contracted with everything. So he's about to explode. Him and his brother Bior just crushing it down here in Atlanta. But he's going to do our recognition today. I'm going to bring it up here for you in a second, Borby. But folks, give it up again one more time for Mr. Borbi Bropleh, who's going to do some recognition. Sound good?
All right, Dan. Thank you so much.
Right.
All
Super
right,
excited.
Borby.
Let's go.
Borby, go get. I'm going to mute myself. I'm going to run through this for you.
All right, so our November 2025 recognition, personal points. We got Mika Simmons, Jaden Everly, Hazel Ada, oh my God, Juliana, Cecile, Anna Paula, Jacqueline, and Lisa Manalili, and Trey Turner, and number one.
All right. Let's go, Trey. Go,
Only
Mika.
one, number one. Mike Wilson. Whoa.
Wilson.
Let's go.
Congratulations.
Hey, Raphael, Cecile, Garrett Alcorn. Number 9, Jackie Ashford, Brenda Lead, Eric Matos. Number 6.
All right.
You got
Go,
Derek
Coach.
Young,
Let's
Laura
go,
Bang.
Raphael.
Number 2. And number 1, there can only be one number 1, Rachel
Rachel.
Bishop. Whoa.
Awesome.
Great job, Rachel Bishop. All right, 14 points. Julio Garenda, Cecile, Jacqueline, Andrea Sarosa, and Lisa Manalili, and Maria Mundus, Emily Babin, Mike Wilson, Trey Turner, and there's only one number 1. Wow, Anna Paula Aguirre.
All right, Anna.
46,555.
All right.
All right, we got core team recruits. Number 10, we got 5 sharing number 10.
Let's go.
Number 5.
Go, Shay. Go, Coach.
4, Shay Bond and Jackie Ashford.
Let's go.
Jackie.
Let's
go. And number 1, Laura Bang and Rachel Bishop. Oh, we have a two-way tie.
Congratulations.
Let's go.
All right, frontline points. Man, number 10, Anna, 9, Albert, 8, Emily, 7, Trey, 6, and Lisa.
All right, Trey.
David, 4, Mariana, 3, Andre, number 2, the great Dan Ebert, and number 1,
That's
Andrea.
182,000. Wow.
Whoa.
Frontline recruits. All right, this is the Rachel Bishop 10, Shelly Timothy,
Go
Dan
ahead, Coach.
Ebert, Andre Genovese, Albert Esparza, 6, 4, we got Laura Van, 3, Jackie Ashford again.
Let's go,
Go,
Coach.
Coach. Go ahead, Coach.
And there's only one number 1. LJ Bart. LJ killed it.
Let's go.
Higher team points. We have 10, April Taylor. Again, Albert Esparza, Lisa, LJ Bart, Trey Turner, David,
Let's go.
Mariana Martinelli, Dan
Let's
Ebert, Andre Genovese. Entire team points. Who's number 1? Wow. Andrea Sarosa, 313,494 points.
Wow.
Give it up for everybody. All right. Entire team recruits. Jackie Ashford again.
Coach. Go, Coach.
Laura Van, Jay Scott, Pao Thao, Albert Esparza, Dan Ebert, number 5. April Taylor. Again, Andre Genovese.
Let's go.
LJ Bart is number 2. Entire team points. Who's number 1? Andrea
Sarosa.
84.
84.
Wow, that is amazing.
That's beautiful.
Super, super amazing, guys.
Good job,
Hey, let's
team.
clap on to others as we want them to clap on us. Andrea
Cycle.
Sabrosa, of course, it's the cycle of the
Andrea,
week.
go Andrea. Woo, woo.
$38,145.
Way to go,
Wow.
Andrea.
Way to
Wow.
go. Qualified SMDs, give it up for Barrett Cummins.
All right, Barrett.
Congratulations.
Qualified SMDs,
All right,
Albert
Albert.
Esparza. Albert is killing it in Vantage. New 100
Woo.
earner,
Hey,
April Taylor.
All right, April.
Hey, yo, this is just the beginning for April. New 100K earner, Dylan and Jax Connolly. Oh, man.
All right, let's go.
Let's go, Quan. Woo.
Pao Thao,
Congratulations.
100K
Pao Thao.
earner.
Congratulations, Quan. Awesome.
Good job, Quan. Good job. All
Woo.
right. So the contest for Punta Cana, Dominican Republic, the contest is still on. It does July 1st and it ends December 31st. So we still have a lot of time, guys. You get a chance to have the company pay for your vacation, literally. The Bronze Voyage is the Bronze Voyager. You get a $500 travel reimbursement. Silver Voyager, you get $1,000 travel reimbursement. And of course, Gold Voyager, you get $2,000. Titanium, you get $3,000. And Platinum Voyager, you have $4,000 in travel reimbursements, guys. This is amazing. Let's give it up for the team, guys.
Awesome job,
Let's
family.
go.
I'm
Yes.
so fired up. Some people, there's so many ties over there. Hopefully you can break away, April, and everybody everybody you tie with. The goal is to break away. All right. Get that one more recruit,
Yes.
right? One more term policy or IUL. Just explode, right? And of course, coming into the new year, you come with the momentum and the fire and the energy and everything, guys. Let's remember the registrations are closing out. As you well know, there was a disaster in Jamaica, so a lot of people are shifting from going to Jamaica this year. Guys, they're going to Punta Cana. So they're gonna start booking all those rooms and you don't want to miss out. So let's go ahead and do it. Guys, I'm fired up for the week. The weekend is great. Let's set appointments. Let's run appointments. Let's get points. Let's recruit. Let's do the business, guys. Thank you so much.
All right.
All right, Dan, back to you.
Let's go.
That's all that needs to be said. Thank you for being on the call today. You guys crushed it, and go out there and let's start building some businesses.
Great job, everybody.